Hey, it's Chahara again. This video will be about Glee. If you have not seen it, but want to, or you're not finished with it yet, there will be spoilers. I might get a little into each season. Um, I last couple seasons weren't the best, but they weren't terrible. So I might not get into the last few seasons better, so if you haven't seen past Finn's death, then it won't be too spoilery, but it probably still will be. I'm probably going to make 2 Glee videos, because I probably have a lot to say. I have a lot to say about just about any show or movie I watch, so there's probably going to be more than one video on just about anything I talk about. So, first, the topic is going to be the seasons, like first 2 seasons versus the last 3 seasons. Because when they were all in high school, it was better. A lot of times I like it when they graduate, or it shows them not in school at all adults, like Charm, where they're all adults. I like that because I like to see what goes on there. I like to see their struggles as adults, job-wise, relationship-wise, getting married, maybe having kids, But, Glee's one of the few shows where I preferred their kid years, because it was just better. When they got older, they were just stuff that wasn't as good. Part of it was probably Finn's death, but there's nothing they could have done better because the actor died in real life, But I don't think that was the only thing. There was just storylines that Finn's death did not impact, but they still did it. Like the whole Rachel doing that TV series, that was so stupid. I don't even watch that storyline. Since the very first episode, what does she talk about? Broadway. That has been her dream since like first second you're introduced to her. That might be a little exaggeration, but you get my point. I just feel like doing that TV show was bad for her character, I love Rachel, and she doesn't do everything I agree with, which is one of the reasons why I love Glee, because their characters have flaws and make mistakes, and I don't love the actions of every character just because I love the character. My favorite characters are Satana, Rachel, Kurt, and Finn, even though I didn't like Finn at the beginning. But I don't like everything they do, I don't like how Rachel and Satana act sometimes. Some of the things Finn said to Kurt at the beginning just makes me want to punch him, And Kurt, he has his downs too, I think just about every character does. No matter how much you love them, there's going to be at least one thing you don't like about them, Well, for most characters at least. Maybe there is 1 or 2 characters you can't think of something, but anyways, about Rachel's show, it was just so stupid, what was the point? To show that there was no point, they could have not had that storyline and still been able to move on with the shows, there's some storylines, no matter how stupid it is, you can't move on without that storyline, because something very important in it is it. I think you could just erase that entire storyline and it wouldn't matter. Well, I guess that's not entirely true, because it was the only reason why Rachel would go back to McKinley and reopen the Glee Cup, so maybe it was kind of important. Yeah, maybe it was. No matter how stupid it was, it might have been more important than I thought. Well, anyways, I like the first 2 seasons better, mostly because I like the characters better. I did like that it kept in some of the old characters, Rachel, Kurt were still main characters, Santana became main character again, and it had other characters guest star, Mercedes was here and there, so was Sam, Artie, it still showed the characters, even if they were Quinn, even if they were all there all the time. But, the first 2 seasons, the first two seasons weren't perfect either, you know? I mean, some of the characters were all on and off, and I mean, it's one thing to have a couple relationships be on and off, because I think just about every show has an on and off couple, you know? 1 minute they're together, next minute they're not. But on this show, it's like every single character's on and off. Rachel and Finn, they were on and off. So was Santana and Brittany, Kurt and Blaine. I think the only couple that didn't keep breaking up was Tina and Mike. Tina and Mike are okay couple. I kind of prefer Tina with Artie, to be honest. But I just feel like it was a little much to have each character keep breaking up, because that's not that. I mean, as realistic as Glee can be, that's not realistic. I mean, it is realistic to have couples break up and stay broken up, couples to break up and come back together. I mean, I know that, but sometimes, I mean, it's just not every couple is like that, and I think for Glee they had it like that, you know? I mean, Sam and Mercedes broke up and got back together. Not as much as the other couples, I'll give them that. Will and Emma was like that, at least at the beginning. Later on, they stayed together for good, which I liked, you know? And one thing I like about this is most of my favorite couples ended up together. You know, a lot of shows, one of the couples dies, or, you know, they just don't... They just break up and they're not together anymore, you know, whether it's a dumb reason because the writers didn't want them together, or if it's a really good reason you understand but still don't like it, you know. I mean, I've had couples like that where they didn't end up together. I understood the reason, doesn't mean I have to like the reason. Rachel and Finn, they probably would have ended up together if Corey didn't die, which was really sad. I'll get into Finn's death in my second Glee video, whenever that is. It probably won't be a while because I have a lot of videos I want to do. But whenever I do make my second Glee video, I'll get more into that. I'll get way more into the couples. This video is more of just elaborate about all the seasons, my likes and dislikes. So, Brittany and Santana ended up together, which I loved. Kurt and Blaine ended up together. I love that they had both couples get married, but I just feel like I wasn't too upset about the double wedding thing. But one thing that annoyed me was that it kind of seemed like Klaine was overshadowing Brittana. I love Klaine, I do, but I love Brittana more, you know. And I mean, they're one of the best couples in my opinion, because most of the couples cheated on. One person cheated on another, you know. Finn's cheated, Rachel's cheated. No, Kurt didn't cheat. Blaine cheated. Sam cheated. Jake cheated, but I'd never liked Jake and Marley together. I always preferred Marley with Ryder, but that's besides the point. You know, so it's like Artie cheated. Everyone cheated. Except for Santana and Brittany. Yeah, they both slept around in the earlier days, but that was before they were an actual couple, back when Santana was trying to hide who she was. You know, Santana slept with all those boys because she didn't want to admit she liked girls. And Santana and Brittany, when they finally became official, whether it was secret at first or not, they never cheated on one another. Even though they broke up at times, they would never cheat on each other because they love each other too much. You know, and I still believe the other couples loved each other. They made mistakes, but still, Santana and Brittany were the only couple that never cheated on each other. Well, actually, I don't think Emma or Will cheated on one another, but still, that's besides the point. So Santana and Brittany are one of the pure couples, in my opinion. I mean, not saying that they're pure. Brittany's pretty pure, but Santana's not. But them as a couple, they're pure, you know. So it just annoyed me that Klaine kind of overshadowed Brittana, you know? I mean, when I was rewatching their wedding on YouTube the other day, and I watched, and it annoyed me because I kind of liked it at first because everyone was surprised. No one knew they were going to do that. But then when they were doing their vows, it seems like Klaine said more, and it's like it was focusing more on Clay than Britannia, even though it was supposed to be Britannia's wedding from the beginning. They got engaged close to the beginning of season 6, and it was supposed to be their wedding, and I wouldn't have minded the whole double wedding so much if it didn't feel like Clay overshadowed Britannia, but that's just my opinion. Season 6 wasn't that great. There were things I liked. Season 5 was okay. Season 4, I didn't really like Brody and his whole storyline. Like I said, I mostly prefer the first 3 seasons. I mean, they're the best. I could rewatch that a lot. My favorite season is season 3. That's when all my favorite characters are together. And it seems like everyone's happy. Half of the class is getting ready to graduate. Half of Glee Club is getting ready to graduate, and it's my favorite season by a long shot. But I still love seasons 1 and 2. And seasons 4 and 5, they're good. They're just could be a lot better, And there were things from the earlier seasons I didn't like either. Like when Finn and Kurt were going to move in together because their mom and dad were dating. When Finn was talking about the room Kurt made, I can't even say that word. I hate it with passion, and I can't even watch that scene. Finn went way over the line at that point. Way, 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 way. I mean, it was just... I do love Finn, but I don't really start loving him until season 2, I think, in the middle of season 1, he starts getting more tolerable, but until season 2, he just, I guess he was kind of like a normal teenager. He dealt with teenage issues, and he dealt with a lot of peer pressure, thinking he had to be this big football player and had to make fun of the Glee Club and stuff, and but I will never forgive. As much as I do love Finn later on, I'll never forgive him for what he said to Kurt. I don't even like to think about it half the time. It was terrible, and but all the characters said or did something I didn't like when Mercedes and Rachel were both after the same part. Rachel was being a good sport, in my opinion, but Mercedes kind of was mean to her because she wanted the part, and I get that, but you need to be a good sport about it, I do think Rachel and Kurt got mostly solos, which was kind of wrong, but they are really good. Doesn't make it right, though. But Satana's really good, too. So is Mercedes. They have a lot of talented people there, It's just, I feel like they could have gotten into some of their talents a little more, I think they should have gotten it more into Artie directing, because you could tell he liked it, he ended up going to film school, he directed a couple of the plays in high school, I think it should have gotten more into that, see him, and some people say that the only person it showed be successful at the end was Rachel, which isn't true. She was kind of the star, so I understand why it showed her a lot, but it also showed Mercedes getting out there, and Mercedes helped Santana too. Mercedes was going on a tour, she had her own album, and Santana was starting to as well. Is that all? I don't know. I think that might be all it showed. But I just think they could have elaborated on a few things a little more, I guess you could call it. I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I love the show, but I don't think there's one show out there that I love or like that doesn't have at least one thing that annoyed me about it, I guess that's what makes it realistic, because it's like the show is the character's life, and you don't like everything about life, you don't like everything about characters, so I guess it makes it more realistic when there's at least one or two things you don't like, you know? But, I did think it should have showed their futures a little more. Maybe showed a little more what they were all doing, you know, showed their careers, showed them married. I didn't really like that Rachel ended up with Jesse. I mean, I'm not too surprised she did, but I didn't like it. You know, I never liked Jesse, never liked them together. I'm not saying I want her to be alone either since Finn is dead. No, I don't want Rachel to be alone. But as much as I like Sam and Mercedes, I don't see them ending up together. I love them together, but I'm not surprised they didn't have them end up together because, I don't know, just from the beginning of when the relationship started, it just seemed like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I don't think the writers ever meant to have them end up together. I think it was, and maybe, and I guess that's more realistic too, because a lot of shows have their high school romances or their first loves be the one they end up together, but that's not realistic. Most time, no matter how much you love someone, you just don't end up together. As sad as it is, it's true. So, I guess it was kind of okay that they didn't end up together because it made it a little more realistic, because you don't always end up with someone from high school or your first love, no matter how much you love them. It just doesn't work like that. So I think Sam and Rachel should have ended up together. And a lot of people say it's because Sam and Finn were best friends, you know, but that's not why I think they should have ended up together. Because Sam, I just think, because Finn, he would have wanted Rachel to be happy no matter who it was, even though it was Jesse, even though he never liked Jesse. He would have wanted her to be happy, even if it couldn't be with him, because he truly loved her more than anything. And a lot of people say Sam was hypnotized, but that's not true, because there were scenes in season 5, you could tell they had a thing. Like they were singing Just the Way You Are in the apartment, you know, Rachel, Santana, Kurt, Blaine, and Sam. And they were just singing because Sam wanted to be a model, and then when Sam pulled Rachel over and started dancing, and then when the song ended, they looked at each other all awkwardly and pulled away, and Santana just smiled because she saw something going on between the two. So there were hints even before Sue started hypnotizing him, and it was more than that. You know, he really cared about her, and he wanted what's best for her, not Jesse. Jesse wanted her to go back to New York, not because what's best for her, but because he just wanted her there, you know. But what was best for her was going back to Niata, and Sam is the one that wanted her to go back to Niata. So that's another reason why Sam's better for Rachel than Jesse, you know. I mean, I feel like if Finn was alive, he would be pushing her to go back to Niata as well. Actually, if Finn was alive, he would convince her not to do the entire show, which would have been great. You know, so not everyone is perfect, but I guess this will make you love the characters even more, because you love them not despite of their flaws and mistakes, but because of them, because it's a part of who they are as a person, you know. I mean, Rachel can be selfish, yes, but one thing I love about her is her determination, her passion. She would do anything to become a star, which is why she earned most of those solos. Even though some other people should have gone solos, I admit, but still, she was determined. You know, most people weren't. She knew she was good, and she wasn't gonna let anyone stand in the way of her big dreams. You know, I mean, so I understand why, because when you have determination like that, it makes things easier, because nothing can stand in your way. I don't agree with everything she did to get to become a big star, but I think she should have dialed it down a little bit. Didn't have to be so mean to get it, but I understand, you know, and she is really talented, but so are some other people, you know. Santana, Kurt, Blaine, they're all talented at something, you know. Mike was never a big singer, but he could dance really good, so they all played a part. You know, Artie was a good singer, and he was great with directing. I still think it should show him in the future becoming like a big hotshot director or something. I don't know. That would have been nice. I liked Artie. I think they kind of ruined his character a little bit in season 5, though. I don't know. But I'm glad I kind of showed Tina and Artie end up together in the end. At least I think they did. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen the last few seasons because, like I said, they're not the best. And when I do watch them, I usually only watch like a few episodes that I do love, you know. I never watched the Rachel show storyline ever. I don't like that at all. It was just stupid. Like, I don't know a person in the world who thought it was good, who liked that storyline at all. No. But is that all for this topic? That might be all. Is that everything I meant? Did I mention everything I'm annoyed about? Well, that's all I can think about that I'm annoyed of right now. If I have more, then I will definitely make another video. I'm already planning on making another video eventually about getting more into the couples. I already got into a little bit of the couples, but I want to get into how much I love some of them, how much I hate some of them, you know, in another video, which I will definitely do. So, that is all for now. Please like and subscribe and comment what annoys you about Glee or what you love about Glee, who your favorite characters are, just anything Glee related pretty much. If you agree or disagree with anything I said, please let me know. Just be respectful about it, please. Okay, so I'm gonna go. So I will see you when I make my next video. Have a lovely day.